I'm Siloe Oliveira. I'm an artist and animator, but deep inside, I've always been a gardener. I've been interested in growing food since I was a child growing up in the city of São Paulo, Brazil, surrounded by concrete. Now I have the chance to grow some of my food in my family's home in the outskirts of Baltimore, Maryland. Follow me in these episodes, experiencing garden success and failure, as I try to forego the lawn for something more productive in my suburban homestead. Spring. It's that time of year that awakens the gardener inside each one of us. The sheer explosion of blooms, the flight of bumblebees, the soft morning dew beaded down the new growth. Moist soil beckons. The temperature is perfect. It is time to plant vegetables. But unlike vegetable plots of yesterday, with straight lines and plenty of upkeep, I want to set up systems that provide more with less effort. Although my house sits on a decent-sized lot of 1/4 of an acre, tall trees in the backyard prevent me from growing vegetables there. So I'm left with my front and side yards. Growing edibles in the front yard is becoming more and more acceptable, and I see no good reason why it should not be. We need to drop some unsustainable and unnatural notions of what a front yard should be, one fork and shovel at a time, and learn to discover other dimensions of beauty and practicality that nature can teach us. I'm experimenting and learning from the land as I try to lessen some of my impact on the environment. Because I want to grow my vegetables as fast as possible and take full advantage of the growing season, I must start them indoors. You know, I like to start my plants indoors. It just ensures that all the seeds germinate properly and that the slugs won't get to the seeds while they're still seedlings. And here's the method I use to start seedlings indoors. In a plate or tray with a paper napkin, pour enough water to moisten the paper thoroughly. This will be the growing medium for your seeds. Now sprinkle the seeds, making sure to leave no clumps. Then cover your plate with plastic wrap. Leave it in a warm place. I like to put it on top of an air vent. This method will ensure a much faster germination rate. I drill the bottom of inexpensive plastic cups and fill them with potting soil, arranging them in trays. It is important to use flexible cups with smooth sides because they make transplanting easier and last for more than one season. The only downside of this method is that it uses plastic cups. I don't like plastic, but it has some good applications, so I do save and reuse these cups as many times as I can. When the seeds germinate, I carefully transplant them into the cups. This is definitely the most tedious and surgical of all the steps. I use tall, transparent cups because they provide room for the roots to grow and let more light get to the little plants. Because they are large cups, I don't have to transplant them again until it is time to plant them outside. This ensures that the plant experiences less shock, so that it grows faster. This method is especially suited for warm season plants like tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. This year, I am planting a few of my favorite vegetables and herbs. If you're new to gardening, you should start small with a few of the vegetables you like the most. Be prepared for some success and failure. And if everything goes wrong this season, there is always next season. After you have planted all these seeds, fully soak the soil with a gentle stream of water. Place your trays under fluorescent lights about 2 to 3 inches from them. It is good to put them near a window that lets some natural sunlight get in to supplement the light spectrum. Do not use light bulbs that produce heat. Of course, if you happen to have a greenhouse, this is not necessary. Check daily to ensure that the soil is moist but never waterlogged. Use a gentle stream to water them. I like to use a water bottle that I've poked holes on its cap with a pushpin. In some weeks, your plants will be ready for planting. It's early spring when herbs like oregano, sweet marjoram, thyme, and rosemary grow in leaps and bounds. It's the perfect time to collect them to make amazing herb-infused bread. In fact, if you want to start gardening, start with herbs. They yield powerful flavor with very little effort. They practically grow themselves. To make this bread, collect a generous handful of your favorite herbs. Go easy on the rosemary and sage. They can be too overpowering. Make sure to wash your herbs thoroughly. Destem your herbs if they happen to have woody stems. Using a chef's knife, finely chop your herbs. In a large bowl, pour 3 cups of lukewarm water. Add 1/4 cup of olive oil. Then add 2 eggs. They give the bread a soft texture, but you don't have to add them if you want to make your bread vegan. Add 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast and 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Add 8 tablespoons of sugar. Whisk everything together, then add 1 cup of flour. Add your chopped herbs and whisk some more. You will gradually add more flour, beating it as fast as you can to develop the gluten and give your bread a nice lacy texture. When it becomes hard to whisk the dough, use a strong wooden spoon. Continue to add flour slowly until the dough becomes a ball. Knead the dough with your hands for a few minutes, only adding flour if necessary. The point of this method is to add as little flour as necessary so the bread comes out light and airy. Cover your dough and let it rise for 1.5 hours in a warm spot. Once it has doubled in size, divide it in half and form it into a loaf. Put it in an oiled loaf pan. Drizzle olive oil on top and sprinkle some coarse salt. Let the dough rise for 1.5 hours, then bake it at 350 degrees for about half an hour or until it's golden and the delicious aroma of freshly baked bread floods your home. Wait for it to cool before cutting it. Then enjoy the first fruits of your labor as you look into the future and have garden dreams of abundant harvests. Join me next time to see me making a Hugo Culture-inspired garden bed. And don't forget to subscribe to Suburban Homestead.